Pavilion on the campus of Seattle Pacific University for the first match of the Falcon Wildcat Invitational. Good news, everybody. College volleyball is back. Strap on the knee pads, tie the ribbons in your hair. We are set to go here at Brome Pavilion as MSU Denver takes on Cal State San Bernardino, the Coyotes versus the Roadrunners. It's a Looney Tunes special here from Brome Pavilion here in Seattle, Washington. Andrew Harvey for your call here on YouTube and SBUFalcons.com. Both teams this evening wearing white, which will be a little bit conflicting for those of you watching from home. So you know, MSU Denver right now is on the right side of your screen. Cal State San Bernardino on the left. MSU Denver on that score graphic there at the bottom of your screen will be listed as the home team, and the Coyotes will be the away team. Let's take a quick look at the starters on both sides.
Will serve first. Serving for the Roadrunners, number 10, Taylor Duryea.
Chapping our PA down there at the bottom. Ball in from MSU. And that one hit over and out. San Bernardino takes an early 1-0 lead on the service error from Taylor Duryea. Another starter for the Roadrunners. Santacia Sturgis, Stephanie Laraway, Lyric Hebert, the libero, Caden Rexis, Morgan Weatherwax. Cross-court hit. Dug out there by the Roadrunners. Sturgis, Weatherwax, tipped up. She was looking for Laraway. Sturgis sets it over the net. Push to the far side. Hit into the block of Weatherwax. Coyotes coming back again. Set back over by MSU. This time cross court. Hebert serves it up. Sturgis trying to get it over the block. Manages to do so. Set to the backside. Hit down to the block. Hebert, Weatherwax, Sturgis once more. She just tips it over the net. And that one goes cross court into the block of Weatherwax. Came off the hand of Asia Clark, the outside hitter, and first year out of Wildomar, California. We're tie at 1-1.
And serving number 6, Stephanie Laraway.
Stephanie Laraway will serve for MSU. That one gets over the block, courtesy of a help from Alexis Cardoza, a sophomore from Chino Hills, California. Cal State resumes control of the serve. The other starters for the Coyotes: Maura Murphy, Alexis Cardoza, Asia Clark, Sasha Dominique, the setter Leila To Omalatai, Jane DeHogue, and Haley Jackson. That's Asia Clark going into the block once more, coming away with another kill.
Point, Cal State San Bernardino.
San Bernardino out to a 3-1 lead. Service in from Dominique. Misplayed. Hebert manages to recover. Sturgis. A wicked shot from Sturgis, finding the gap in between San Bernardino. Pulls it back to 3-2 and wins the serve back.
Number 7, Jessa Meganhart, and number 2, Eveline Lai. Meganhart serving.
Jessa Meganhart, a sophomore setter, serving now. And that is a service ace for her. Dropped it in beyond Clark and Hannah Barrett. Meganhart comes in again. Barrett, Asia Clark, cross court. Hebert there for the first dig. Meganhart bumps it back in. Coyotes do enough to get it back over the net. Hebert digs it out. Bumped up. Sturgis. Stopped more by To'o Malatai. Hard hit. Hebert is there on the line. Meganhart setting it up. Sturgis once more off the block. To'o Malatai sets it up. Asia Clark going for the back end. She's overhit it. The ball's gone out. So Metro State Denver picks up their first advantage of set number 1. 4-3 they lead here after 7 points. Meganhart serves in, and she's overhit it. We're tied at 4.
Service error. Coyotes point. Serving for the Coyotes is Alexis Cardoza.
Alexis Cardoza Serving now for the Coyotes. Cardoza goes cross court. Sturgis on the set. Tipped down. Not sure who will get credit for it. It might be Haley Jackson. Asia Clark also involved there. Either way, the Coyotes come away with a point. Another service from Cardoza. Sturgis. Megan Hart back towards Sturgis, and a kill from Sturgis. Well, she's made herself known for plays like that. 459 kills she racked up in the 2017 season for the Roadrunners. And off to a rocket start here at Brome Pavilion in the Falcon Wildcat Invitational. Asia Clark going to go cross court. Hebert is there. Megan Hart tees it up. Floated toward the backside. Cardoza there to keep it alive. And Jackson into the block. Hit it in to Alyssa Kelling and Taylor Duryea. Another Roadrunners point. Santacia Sturgis to serve now. Low service, dealt with. Pushed along for Clark, and Clark out of play once more. 3 points in a row now for the Roadrunners. Sturgis floats that ball in. Asia Clark set up. Hit hard by Jackson. She goes off the block and wins the point. Side out for Cal State San Bernardino. Asia Clark to serve. Standing serve from Clark, just over the top of the net. Megan Hart pushes it along. Omalata manages to dig it out and finished off. Would it hit the line? It did. It's a point for MSU Denver. Finished off with authority from Taylor Duryea. Lyric Hebert to serve now for the technical home team tonight, MSU Denver. Hebert down the line. Clark misplays that first one. It's bound to the back wall. Cardoza not going to get there. 9-6, the Roadrunners lead. Hebert's second service now. And that one takes an awkward corkscrew. Hebert apologizes to her teammates. Lilia To'omalatai serving it. And off the block. Coyotes unable to dig that one out. It's another point for the Roadrunners. Aveline Lai to serve now. Floated ball. Cardoza is there. Set to the backside. Cross court hit and kept alive. Trying to tip it back down. Weatherwax manages to get set. And into the block and a comebacker. Maura Murphy unable to lift that one over the net. Timeout taken here at Brome Pavilion by the Coyotes. So on the initial break, Roadrunners up 11-7 here at Brome Pavilion. Both these teams with very successful seasons last year. Cal State San Bernardino finished 24-8, 14-3 in the CCAA. That was good for first. Roadrunners 22-9 overall, 16-2 in conference play, third overall in the RMAC. Roadrunners bring back three of their top producers: Laraway, Duryea, of course Sturgis, we mentioned earlier. Meanwhile, Cardoza and Maura Murphy be looked at to help step up after the loss of 5'9" outside hitter Lauren Nicholson from the Coyotes roster last season. Well, this just the first of what should be a great weekend of volleyball here in the Pacific Northwest. A lot of great teams in actions. Metro State versus Cal State San Bernardino. Obviously the match you're watching right now. Tomorrow we got 3 here at Brome Pavilion. SPU will take on Fresno Pacific. Fresno will play on Cal State San Bernardino, and SPU will play Cal State San Bernardino. Busy day for both. Metro State, meanwhile, will head down to Central Washington, out in Ellensburg, Washington, at Nicholson Pavilion. Take on Central, Fresno, and SPU on Sunday, the 25th. Ball back in play. Once more into the blockers. Goes Maura Murphy. That one finds purchase inside the area. Coyotes score a point to pull it back, 11-8.
And serving number 15, Jan DeHoog.
Jan DeHoog, the senior out of Bakersfield, to serve now. Low serve, misplayed by the Roadrunners. And that's a service ace. DeHoog, second serve, also low, dealt with. Weatherwax off the block, to Omalatai. Tipped up, DeHoog, and that was inch perfect. Finish off with authority by Sasha Dominique. DeHoog, third serve now. Awkward play around the net. Dominique, DeHoog, fans it backside. Cardoza just going to tip it over. Ebert digs it out. Weatherwax back to the far side, going off the blockers. To Omalatai sets it up. DeHoog back to the near side. Murphy gets it over the net. Weatherwax chooses to dump it herself. To Omalatai bumping back toward the net. Asia Clark gets it up. Sturgis, Weatherwax back to the near side for Miley. Weatherwax keeping it in the family. Roadrunners have it come off Stephanie Laraway, a senior out of Lakewood, Colorado. Well, it's the first of many great rallies you're probably going to see out of both these teams over the course of this season. And it is 12-10 MSU here in set number 1. DeHoog for Cardoza. She goes off the blockers. Weatherwax teeing it up. And Laraway, second finish in a row, 13-10. Duryea serving in, overhit it. It's a service error.
San Bernardino will get the point. In for the Coyotes, number 14, Hannah Barrett. Barrett back to serve.
Hannah Barrett, the senior out of Highland, California, to serve now. Barrett right into the mixer. Weatherwax pushed along for Sturgis. And blocked hard by Dominique and Cardoza. Dominique got more of it.
By her side is Cardoza. 1 point set.
Barrett second serve. Weatherwax teeing it up. Trying to keep it over the net. Weren't able to keep it in play. Laraway hit it off the pole. And we're tied for the first time here in set number 1. 13-13 here at Brome Pavilion. Barrett now for the third serve. Awkward dig. Weatherwax teeing it up. Sturgis keeping it in play. Goes cross court. Asia Clark hits it up. Bumped back into play. DeHoog gets it over the net. And a hardcore spike from the setter. Morgan Weatherwax, the junior out of Fort Collins, smashes it cross court, managed to draw the Coyotes out of position, and left no doubt. They pull back level at 14.
Cal State San Bernardino. And they will serve into the match for the
You
Road
might
Runners
see a bit of a
number 9,
score adjustment on your
Hebert, also
scoreboard
for
there. I think they incorrectly
San
gave
Bernardino,
an initial point to
Jackson,
MSU.
Dominic serving.
Well, now they've given too many points out. Currently they have it as 15-14. It should be 14-14, and there it goes. Well, these neutral venue games can be a little bit tricky, especially with both teams wearing white. Meanwhile, Asia Clark goes into the net. Well, that should be credit to the home team, MSU. They've given it to the guest team. Well, oh dear, there appears to be a bit of confusion down there with the scoreboard. We apologize for that confusion, but I can confirm that Metro State is currently leading here 15-14. Asia Clark goes for the set. DeHogue trying to tee it up, and Jackson smashes it down. We're back level at 15, at least that's correct. Cardoza, Sturgis. Cross court, To'omalatai gives chase, has a chance to put it back in play. Escorted over the net. A hard hit kill attempt there to Hogue for Asia Clark off the block. Did someone come over the net? Well, the umpires disagreed for a second.
For Cal State San Bernardino.
They've given the point to the Coyotes. Now lead 16-15. Floated in by Cardoza. Sturgis. And the Roadrunners not going to get back to that one.
Coyotes with the point, up by 2.
Timeout going to be called here by the Roadrunners. Head coach Jenny Glenn wants to take a minute to talk things over. Set number 1. It's complicating itself a little bit here for the Roadrunners and frankly for our scoreboard crew. We apologize again for any kerfuffles that may have occurred with the score tracking there. But at the break right now, Cal State San Bernardino Coyotes up 17-15 here in set number 1 over the Metro State Roadrunners. Scored the last 3 points in a row. No team so far has gone on a streak of more than 3 points in a row. There have been a couple each side. San Bernardino has 3. Actually, every time they've scored, their last 3 spurts, you might say, have all been 3-point runs. And that's the same way that MSU Denver opened up set number 1 here. So neither team's really been able to distinguish itself. It's going to make the end of this set very interesting as both these teams race to 25. Asia Clark leading right now with 3 points.
First
Sasha Dominique, Haley Jackson also with 3. Stephanie Laraway leading the Roadrunners, 3 points to her name as well. Alexis Cardoza serving here, looking to make it 4 points in a row for the Coyotes. Seems to be a slight delay regarding something on the floor. Well, we've worked it out. Cardoza ready to serve. The set back towards Sturgis. She went off the stanchion.
Coyotes point. And serving is
So Cardoza's second serve. Floated in here, Sturgis. Set to the backside, tipped over the net by Lai. Finished off with Jackson. She smashed that off of waiting. Roadrunners player. 19-15 now, the lead for Cal State San Bernardino, and Cardoza drops in another beaut. They can smell victory now, 20-15. That's going to lead to head coach Jenny Glenn taking her second timeout here in set number 1. She wants to talk things over with her players. Well, just like I said at the end of the last break, it had been no more than 3 points. Well, now San Bernardino has scored the last 5 in a row. And Alexis Cardoza now with 2 service aces to her name. Quality service has been something we've seen a fair amount of here in set number 1. In total, 6 service aces listed on the board. Just making it very tough for either one of these teams to defend and return. Teams are ushered back to the floor. Once again, the Coyotes on the left side of your screen. Forgive me, I'm calling the match from the end of the gym here. The Coyotes are on the right side of your screen. Denver on the left. This serve in from the Coyotes is Cardoza. Sturgis manages to get that one down. Another hard hit ball from her. Manages to rally some momentum back. 16-20 now in favor of Cal State San Bernardino, and Sturgis will serve. DeHogue, Jackson, did she nick the line? She did. Pinpoint precision from Haley Jackson, who's hitting 1,000 so far through the first couple points here in set 1. Joanna Langarica checking in now. She will serve.
Rising and delivery for the Roadrunners, number 8, Alyssa Kelly. Point, Metro State, and serving will be Lyric Hebert.
Hebert, the Lodero, to serve this ball. Drops it just over the line. Asia Clark is there. DeHogue sets it near side. Jackson going down. Megan Hart's there. Hebert serves it up. Asia Clark there once more. Kept alive impressively by Cardoza. Megan Hart hit at the line. Jackson with the block. DeHogue into the wall, but smash off the blockers. Finished off well by Maura Murphy. Back and forth we go now. These teams trading points as we move into the late phase of set 1. To'o Malatai with the service in. Megan Hart serves the backside. Set on that, DeHogue going for Asia Clark into the wall and blocked hard by Laraway. Aveline Lai, the first year to serve. Knuckleball to Omalatai. DeHogue now down to Murphy. Hebert. Weatherwax pushed along. Did it nick the line? It didn't. 18-23 now in favor of the Coyotes here in set 1.
Into the lineup for the Roadrunners, number 11, Caden Rexis.
Caden Rexis, redshirt sophomore out of Colorado. Checking in now, the serve comes to her. Weatherwax keeps it alive. Tipped at the net, and another point for the Coyotes, who are 1 point away here from a victory in set 1. Jane DeHogue dropping this in. That one gets away. Weatherwax does well to keep it alive. Hit over the net by Rexis. DeHogue teeing up. Murphy goes cross court. Rexis is there. Hebert with the second touch. Sturgis trying to push it back. Blocked at the net. Tipped down, and that's going to do it here in set number 1. Coyotes claiming victory by a score of 25-18. We'll take a break here on YouTube and on SBUFalcons.com and return with set number 2. Welcome back into Brome Pavilion and our live stream of the first match of the Falcon Wildcat Invitational here on YouTube and SPUFalcons.com. Andrew Harvey for you here. Cal State San Bernardino. The Coyotes claimed victory over Metro State Denver. The Roadrunners in set number 1 by a score of 25-18. Top performers for the Coyotes included Haley Jackson, 5 kills on 6 total attacks for an .833 percentage. Jane DeHogue had 10 assists, well, 10 of the 11 total for the Coyotes. The only other one was Lelia To'omalatai. And Asia Clark had 3 kills and 5 errors. So she'll look to clean up the hitting a little bit here, but Asia Clark looked promising that first one. On the other side, 3 kills on 14 total attacks for Santacia Sturgis, looking to work her way into this game a little bit. She was the top performer, however, for the Roadrunners there in Game 1. We return now. The teams have switched sides, so the Roadrunners now are on the left side of your screen. Or pardon me, the Roadrunners now on the right side of your screen, and the Coyotes on the left. Roadrunners look to rebound from what was a strong start in Game 1. 1 point climbed to an 11-8 lead. Weren't able to pull away, though. And 6 points in a row for the Coyotes. Pulled them back ahead in front for good. Jayan DeHogue, who had 10 assists there in set 1 to serve the opening point from the left side of your screen. DeHogue hit hard. Set up and finished off by Alyssa Kelling. Initial dig to Taylor Duryea. Kelling to serve. Dumped right back in by Sasha Dominique. We're level at 1.
In serving, number 14, Hannah Barrett.
Overhit at the backside, coming off the hand of Alexis Benda, sophomore out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. Second serve now, Hannah Barrett. Barrett towards Sturgis. Weatherwax immediately hit by Laraway, and a hard hit ball at that. 2-2 we're tied. Benda to serve. To'omalatai. DeHogue. Asia Clark cross court with authority. And the Coyotes back on top.
Asia Clark getting the kill and the point. Sasha Dominique serving.
Sasha Dominique to serve. Sturgis. Weatherwax. Laraway is there, so is DeHogue. Back to Asia Clark, into the blockers. Dominique keeps it alive. Dominique has to set it over the net. Benda, push to the far side. Hebert digs it out. Weatherwax. Overhit cross court. Did it take a tip on its way out? Nope. Cal State's point. San Bernardino have taken 4 of the opening 6 points here in set number 2. They lead 4-2. Dominique for Sturgis. Weatherwax. Pushed over. She dropped that perfectly on the line. Did Taylor Duryea. Can't place it any better than that. Duryea serves. Dominique is there. So is DeHogue. Back to Dominique. That one got by everyone. And is another Coyotes point.
Coyotes point, up by 2. Alexis Cardoza serving.
Cardoza goes cross court. Weatherwax teeing up Laraway. To'o Malatai digs it out. DeHogue goes to dump it over. Doesn't manage to do so. Just not quite enough on that ball. You could see the frustration. She really thought she managed to get that one to lip over the net. Eric Hebert, the libero, to serve now for the Roadrunners. They trail 4-5 here in set 2. Hebert drops in a liner. DeHogue for Asia Clark. Looped over. Weatherwax, she jumps it. DeHogue teed up for Jackson.
That violation called against Metro State.
And a Metro State net violation.
And they will serve with Asia's Clark back deep and into the match. Number 1, Maura Murphy.
Asia Clark now serves. Overhits it. That's a good leave by Taylor Duryea.
They'll pick up the point. Now into the match for the Roadrunners. Number 7, Jessa Meganhart, who will serve.
Jessa Meganhart, the backup setter, comes in. Asia Clark deals with the service. Dug out at the net. Cardoza goes cross court. Hebert has to get a hand on it. Lethal hit from Cardoza.
Serving for the Coyotes, Lelia To'omalatai.
To'omalatai, the libero, will serve now. Floated in. Hebert, her counterpart, deals with it. Dumped in by Dominique. Expertly done. And another point for the Coyotes. To'omalatai, second serve. Hebert digs it out. Meganhart for Sturgis. Dug out by Cardoza. Dominique, another one. Sasha Dominique is a wrecking ball in the middle of the floor right now.
They maintain service.
Five kills to her name so far this match. Awkward ball there, hit by the Roadrunners. Alyssa Kelling. To'omalatai gets a hand to her, but it had a corkscrew motion on it. And that's a point for the home team. 6-9 here in set number 2 as Santacia Sturgis gets set to serve. Slight delay while they're going to wipe off the floor a little bit. Serve from Sturgis. Cardoza's there. DeHogue. Murphy has it come right back to her. And she's rung up on getting too far underneath the ball. Point Metro State. Second serve for Sturgis. And a service error from Santacia Sturgis gives it back to the Coyotes, who have a 3-point lead as Jan DeHogue steps up. Cross-court serve. Sturgis is there. Meganhart. Kelling. Teed up. Dominique floats it over. Kept alive. Hebert tracked it all the way underneath the net. Couldn't keep it in play.
It will be a San Bernardino point.
DeHogue will go for her second serve. Back to Sturgis. Meganhart. Kelling. That one took a tip on its way over the net. It's a point for the Roadrunners.
On the left side by Metro State. They get the point into the match. Number 6, Stephanie Laraway. Their server, Alyssa Kelly.
Alyssa Kelling to serve now. Hit it too far. Ball is out.
Goes long. Service error. Coyotes point. In for the Coyotes, number 14, Hannah Barrett. Barrett serving.
Barrett will serve now for the Coyotes. Standing serve. Sturgis is there. Megan Hart tipped over by Laraway. Laraway dumps it back in. Dominic is there. So's To'omalatai. Megan Hart back to Laraway. To'omalatai there at the back end of the court. Teed up for Cardoza. And Cardoza finishes coming opposite the run of play. Look what I found. And it is 8-13 in favor of Cal State San Bernardino. Second serve now for Hannah Barrett.
Timeout called by Metro State.
And Metro State going to take a timeout instead, so we'll take a small break here as well. Again, at the first timeout, they trail Cal State San Bernardino 8-13 here in set number 2.
Serve for Cal State San Bernardino. 13-8 the score.
Serve from Barrett. Sturgis, Megan Hart, push far side into the block. It's Sasha Dominique once more.
Blocked down by Sasha Dominique. And a point for the Coyotes, up by 6.
Dominique now with 3 blocks this evening. Stephanie Laraway with 3 leads the Roadrunners. Another standing serve from Barrett. Sturgis is there. Hebert. And it's Dominique once more.
Coyotes point. Hannah Barrett serving.
Barrett now, her 4th serve. Coyotes jumping out to a 15-8 lead here in set number 2. Knuckling in, Sturgis. Megan Hart. Dominique tips it back over the net. Megan Hart, far side now. Dominique with range gets over. Asia Clark gets up into it. That went off the ceiling. DeHogue, To'omalatai. Asia Clark over to Sturgis. Megan Hart. Hit hard by Laraway and finished off there in the middle of the net. Metro State breaks up a run of 4 consecutive points, pulls it back to 15-9. To'omalatai with the initial dig. Asia Clark, that one comes off To'omalatai after the block.
Getting it done, Monique Morgan Weatherwax, and that is a point for Metro State.
Serve in from the Roadrunners. Asia Clark, bit of a miss hit with her first one. DeHogue gets it over the net. Weatherwax, that one took a tip on its way out of play. It looked like she had missed the back edge. But it's 11-15, still in favor of the Coyotes here in set 2. Service in, Asia Clark. DeHogue, backside for Dominique into the blockers. Dominique muscled that one over the net.
Sasha Dominique off the Metro State players, and that will go as a point for the Coyotes. Dominique will serve.
Dominique now with a match-leading 7 kills this evening. Here she comes for a serve. Drops that one in. Sturgis has to go to the ground. Weatherwax pushes far side. Oh, my word. That had some velocity off the hand of Taylor Duryea, the senior out of Logan, Utah. And Duryea will serve. Dominique steps out for the Coyotes. Duryea floats that one. Well, maybe feeling the adrenaline a little bit too much from that last kill. Floats that one too far to the back end.
Serving for Cal State San Bernardino, number 3,
Alexis Cardoza now to serve for the Coyotes. Jackson with her bench. A wicked serve straight to the hands of Duryea. Duryea can't handle it. Give her a receiving error. Cardoza again. Wanted to pick on Duryea once more. Hebert stepped in front of it. Sturgis gets it away. DeHogue over toward Clark into the block of Weatherwax. That one not going to make it over the net by a mile. Metro State pulls a point back.
Alyssa Kelly into the lineup for Metro State, and their server is Lyric Hebert.
Hebert now to serve. Our team trails by 5 here in set number 2. Barrett, DeHogue, over to Clark. Back toward Hebert. Weatherwax. Sturgis kept alive by Cardoza. Settles for Hebert. Weatherwax wants to dump. Jackson. A couple players collide underneath the net there. They pile up.
Getting the kill that time, Haley Jackson. Let's give Haley a hand as she gets to her feet.
Jackson back to her feet, telling her coach she's okay. Telling Kim Chernis, I'm all right. I'm all right. Just a couple players going for the ball at the net there. I'm going to take a minute to collect themselves. But Jackson has been credited with the kill, as both she and Weatherwax went to dump that ball over to the far side of the net. But it is the Coyotes who lead 19-13 here in set 2. And Asia Clark will serve.
Back into the Coyotes lineup, number 1, Maura Murphy. Asia Clark serving.
Clark the standing service for Duryea. Weatherwax teeing it up. Sturgis wants to go cross court. Haley Jackson's there once more. Jackson, 6'3", the senior out of Apple Valley, California, and transfer from the University of Montana. Has been causing a lot of trouble, and it's enough that Jenny Glenn wants another talk with her Roadrunners, who at the break trail 20-13 to the Cal State San Bernardino Roadrunners here in set number 2.
Both teams take the floor. Following the timeout. 2 timeouts left for San Bernardino. No timeouts left for Metro State. Clark serves.
Asia Clark, the standing service into Sturgis. Weatherwax, hard hit ball. Clark chooses to play it to Hogue for Murphy, who's checked back in. Sturgis tries to get it over the net, fails to do so.
By Metro State, Coyotes point.
Coyotes have now taken 6 of the last 7 points here in set number 2. They lead 21-13. Clark dealing this one in. Durier's there, so is Weatherwax. Pushed along, Clark keeps it in. Murphy finishes that one off. Make that 4 in a row, 2 on either side of Metro State's timeout. Coyotes leaning closer and closer to finishing off set 2. Clark knuckleball in. Both Durier and Sturgis go to play it. Credit that as a service ace to Asia Clark. San Bernardino serves once more. Another knuckleball. Sturgis barely able to deal with it. Oh my. 2 aces in a row for Asia Clark. She has really got her stuff working tonight. Tough to tell from the angle that your camera is set at. I have a great look at it. This ball is dropping very quickly once it gets over the net. Here's another knuckler. That one knuckles a little bit too much. That's going to be a service error. Still, though, on the whole, you'd have to say, if you're a Coyotes head coach, Kim Shernis, you have to be pretty happy with 2 service aces and an error. Clark deals with the initial. Sturgis tries to spike it right away. Weatherwax back to Sturgis, tips it over. Cardoza is there. Clark, fan far side from Murphy. Durier keeps it alive. Weatherwax. Hard hit there off the hands of To'omalatai. Alexis Benda smashed that ball in. Roadrunners doing everything they can to stay alive here in set number 2. If they concede one more point, this set's over. To Hogue, Jackson's there. Sturgis keeps it alive. Meganhart into the wall. Jackson tips it up. Cardoza for Murphy. Murphy over to Hebert. Meganhart, Sturgis off the wall. Murphy, De Hogue, back to Murphy. She won't get to it. De Hogue tees it a little bit too high on that one. And it's 16-24. Jessa Meganhart serves in. Asia Clark is there. De Hogue. Asia Clark. Hebert is there. Meganhart hit into the wall. Kelling. De Hogue. Murphy. Hit off of Benda. Jackson wants to finish this set off. To'omalatai. Murphy floats it over. Meganhart still there. Hebert gets to it. Sturgis dumps it over. Oh, a beautiful near side dipping kill from Sturgis. De Hogue gonna plead her case, saying that Sturgis reached over the net. But just great placement. 4 points in a row now for the Roadrunners. De Hogue still pleading her case. And it's all smiles down on the floor. They're going to let this one play. Service from Meganhart. Cardoza. De Hogue to Murphy. Hebert keeps it alive. It comes off the net. And it's not going to matter. Sharp reflexes from Lyric Hebert. But in the end, it is a hard hit from Maura Murphy that finishes off set number 2 here. And that is going to lead to the break. So after 2 sets, Cal State San Bernardino Coyotes are up 2-0 by scores of 25-18 and 25-17. Late breaking runs out of the Coyotes in both sets have really set them apart here. We'll take a break as well here on YouTube and SBUFalcons.com and return with set number 3. We are back here at Brougham Pavilion. 2 sets done here in the first game of the Falcon Wildcat Invitational here between MSU Denver and Cal State San Bernardino. The Coyotes and Cal State have a 2-0 lead, 25-18. They won set 1, 25-17. They won set 2. Sasha Dominique has been a wrecking ball all night long. She's hitting .778 with a match-high 7 kills. Haley Jackson for the Coyotes also with 7 kills. Just a reminder, this is just the first match of what will be a weekend full of volleyball. If you're not in town, we do hope you'll join our live streams here on YouTube as necessary. Like we said, 3 matches on tap tomorrow at Brougham Pavilion, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific, with Seattle Pacific University taking on Fresno Pacific. And then Fresno Pacific will play the Coyotes at 3 p.m., and the Coyotes will get a second game in later in the evening against SPU at 7:30 Pacific time. We are set to go. Roadrunners back on the left side of your screen here for set 3. Ball in from Weatherwax. Alexis Cardoza is there. DeHogue. Cardoza finishes it off and starts things off in flying fashion for the Coyotes. Both these teams have played each other pretty level over the first, well, total about 34 points or so of each set. But in the end, it's always a 6-point or 7-point run that the Coyotes have gone on to keep things from being that close. Duryea finishes that one off to keep it level at 1. Duryea misses on the serve. Coyotes ball.
Get the point. In for Cal State San Bernardino, number 39, Haley Jackson. And their server is Dominique.
Sasha Dominique driving that in. Sturgis is there. Weatherwax back to Sturgis, into the wall. Jackson there. Weatherwax wants the other side this time. Another hit off the wall, dug back out by Cardoza. Set over the net by DeHogue. And Haley Jackson coming up big in the middle. Every inch of her 6'3" frame needed for that one. But she extends it, wins the point, and earns Sasha Dominique a second serve. That one to Sturgis. Weatherwax. That one cross court coming off the hands of Hannah Barrett. Hit hard by Aveline Lai, the first year out of Boulder, Colorado. Alyssa Kelling to serve now. Low serve, Asia Clark is there. DeHogue back toward the net. Clark back underneath it. Can't get it to go.
Tied at 3 here in set number 3.
Second serve, Kelling. DeHogue, fan backside, Cardoza smashes it off the hands of Taylor Duryea.
Alexis Cardoza. Cal State San Bernardino point. Cardoza will be your server.
Cardoza serves, has a match-high 3 service aces. Sturgis gets that over the net. Whistle's gone, it's a point for the Coyotes.
Cal State San Bernardino point.
Sturgis. Weatherwax. Sturgis just has to get it over the net. Barrett. Fanned along, hit over, and finished off.
Coming through, Haley Jackson. Coyotes get the point.
Cardoza. Sturgis to Weatherwax. Looking for Lai. Back to Clark, floats it over. Sturgis is there, tipped over by Laraway, and Laraway does enough to get it beyond Jackson. Benda and Megan Hart checking in now for the Roadrunners. Megan Hart to serve. Standing serve. Tough dig there. No one there on the second hit after Hannah Barrett sells out to get it. That's a service ace for Megan Hart. And the second one over hit. So a service error.
Cal State San Bernardino point. They will serve, and serving is Asia Clark.
Asia Clark to serve now. Straight at Duryea. Megan Hart, backside. Laraway goes cross court. Cardoza is there. Sturgis goes to finish it off. She does not get the line, but she does manage to tip it off a player on the process. Hard fought point for Metro State. Sturgis serves. Drops that one in. Difficult to deal with. Hebert gets it over the net. Jackson all alone in space. Picks her spot and does not disappoint.
Back to serve is number 13.
Kept alive there by the Roadrunners. Maura Murphy goes cross court. Hebert is there. And the ball coming back in, missed the zone. Second serve now for Lelia To'omalatai. Service error from To'omalatai.
Metro State point. Their server will be Lyric Hebert.
Hebert, the libero, to serve.
Back into the lineup.
Loaded service, Asia Clark. DeHoog backside, Dominique. DeHoog keeps it alive. To'omalatai, Dominique sets it over the net. Benda, Megan Hart. Duryea is there, as is Maura Murphy. To'omalatai for Asia Clark. Finds Sturgis. Megan Hart punched over the net. Too much underneath it from Kelling. And on the carry, comes back to the Coyotes.
Server is Jan DeHoog.
Jan DeHoog to serve now. Eric Hebert, Megan Hart. Duryea straight into the wall, comes out of play, however, off of Murphy.
Out of bounds. Last touched by Cal State San Bernardino. Point.
Weatherwax back in now for the Roadrunners, as is Aveline Lai. Weatherwax to serve. Weatherwax. Service error from her, overhits it.
Coyotes get the point, and in and serving is Hannah Barrett.
Service from Barrett. Hebert underneath it. Weatherwax. Aveline Lai cross court, and too much behind it.
Point Coyotes. Barrett serving.
That one tips over the net. Weatherwax. Barrett backside to Asia Clark into the wall. Dominique floats it along to Hogue. Back over to Clark. She goes down the line and she finds the line. What a finish from Asia Clark. And that is going to lead to a timeout on the floor from the Roadrunners. Cal State San Bernardino Coyotes leading 13-8 here in set 3, looking for the sweep. Well, it might sound outlandish to say it, but looking back over the notes, Metro State has not held a lead in this match since they were leading 15-13 back in set number 1. Since then, it has been all Coyotes, and they get another point there. Sturgis is there. Weatherwax along for Duryea, floats it over. DeHogue underneath it. Barrett backside for Clark. And Clark off the blockers gets another point. 5 points in a row now for the Coyotes, starting back with a service error on behalf of Metro State. Sturgis for Weatherwax to Duryea. That one comes off Dominique. Clark sets it over the net. Lai, Weatherwax back to Duryea. Up and over to Hogue. Barrett for Clark. She wants another. She finds the corner. Cross court, drops it in. And Coyotes now have scored 6 in a row. Duryea underneath it. Weatherwax for Lai. She'll float it. Dominique, DeHogue, Cardoza into Duryea, who keeps it in play and pulls a point back to make it 9-16. Caden Rexis coming in now. She will serve, and the Roadrunners need to make something happen right now. They trail by 7 and 2 sets. Rexis over to Barrett. DeHogue. Asia Clark teeing up, picking her spot. The block, courtesy of Alyssa Kelling, comes right off the head of Alyssa Cardoza. Rexis serves to Barrett. DeHogue, Cardoza. Hebert is there. That one going to come off the ceiling. Weatherwax teeing up. And another one off the hands of Dominique and out of play. Santacia Sturgis coming in with the kill. Rexis now a third serve. Barrett to Hogue for Dominique. Rexis underneath it. Weatherwax backside for Lai. Floats it over. Cardoza to Hogue. Wants Dominique. Dominique over hits it.
Out of bounds it goes. Roadrunners point.
Rexis now. Another knuckleball serve to Omalatai. There to Hogue for Dominique. Well, Dominique, she needed a couple chances to pick out her zoning, but leaves nothing in doubt about that one. Kills that one to the near side. And her side has a 17-12 lead. Dominique to serve. Picks out Sturgis. Weatherwax back for Sturgis. Into the blockers off Cardoza and wins the point.
Last touch by San Bernardino. Off the kill from Sturgis.
Laraway back in now for the Roadrunners. Kelling to serve. Barrett to Hogue. Teeing up Cardoza, who floats it over. Kelling is there. Weatherwax. Laraway. Lai gets the tip and the point.
Off of the Coyotes player is Abilene Lai. And a point, Metro State down by 3.
Metro State closed the gap to 3. 14-17. Service from Kelling. Barrett gets there. DeHogue looking for Clark. Clark over hits. Down to 2 now.
Roadrunners get the point.
Roadrunners have taken 7 of the last 8 points, and that is going to lead to a Cal State San Bernardino timeout. Here in set 3, again, Metro State trailing 15-17 against the Coyotes. Metro State trailing 15-17 here. In set number 3, Alyssa
Metro
Kelling
State
will serve.
serving. Alyssa Kelling back to serve.
Third serve from Kelling. That one knuckles in. Asia Clark to Hogue. Going back to Clark. She floats it over. Sturgis is there. Weatherwax back to Lai. Finds Omalatai. Barrett floats toward the net. Clark just gets rid of it. Rexus. Weatherwax for Sturgis. Met at the net. Sturgis pops it up. Weatherwax now back toward Lai. And a double hit from her.
Off the net, too many hits on a double hit. And that goes as a San Bernardino point. Coyotes serving. Serving is Alexis Cardoza.
Cardoza floats into Sturgis. Weatherwax back to Cardoza. Hard hit toward her to Hogue underneath, but can't get enough of it.
Metro State point.
16-18, the Roadrunners trail as they take over. Megan Hart back in, she'll serve. Megan Hart to Omalatai, off her knuckles to Hogue, gets rid of it. Megan Hart up at the net is Lair away. Jackson wants to finish this one off. That one off the ceiling, comes back down in play. Rexus keeps it alive. Eber gets it over the net. Cardoza floats it backward. Clark, a chance to hit it into the blockers. Benda's there. Megan Hart back to Sturgis, into the blockers. Jackson comes off of Sturgis and out of play. Another fantastic rally here as the Coyotes stay on top 16-19.
Maura Murphy in for the Coyotes.
Asia Clark to serve now for the Coyotes. Sturgis, Megan Hart, back towards Sturgis, floats it over. Cardoza's there. To Hogue. Murphy into the blockers, and Murphy makes it 20-16. Coyotes can smell it now, 5 points away.
Point for the Coyotes and a timeout on the floor.
And Jenny Glenn senses it too. She wants another timeout here for Metro State, where their team trails 16-20 in set 3. Teams are called back to the floor here at Brougham Pavilion. Coyotes lead 20-16 here in set 3. They won the first 2 sets, and they are 5 points away from closing this one out early in the evening.
2016 is the score, and serving will be Asia Clark.
Asia Clark into Rexus. Megan Hart. Sturgis took a tip of the net. Cardoza to Hogue. Kept alive by Murphy. Whew, what a hit from her. Rexus goes to ground just to get a piece of it, but cannot keep it alive.
Point for the Coyotes.
3 in a row now for the Coyotes. Asia Clark, Eber, Megan Hart. Laraway misses the line.
Out it goes, Coyotes point.
Roadrunners running out of room to work here. Clark in for Rexus, awkwardly hit from her. Megan Hart serves it back in. Benda goes to get it over the net.
Once again,
And Jackson's there.
Bernardino gets the points.
23-16. Asia Clark with her 4th serve. Knuckles it, played by Sturgis though. Meganhart back to Sturgis, cross court. To'omalatai keeps it alive. DeHogue setting up Clark, who gets rid of it. Rexus, Meganhart. Touched on by Laraway. To'omalatai back to Murphy. Benda, Meganhart pushes it along for Sturgis. Sturgis sneaks it over. DeHogue frustrated. 17-23. Santacia Sturgis did so many good things for this team last year. Now will serve to try to keep this match going. Asia Clark to Hogue. Murphy goes cross court. Hebert is there. Meganhart pushes it along. Benda comes off Murphy. Asia Clark back toward Murphy. Floats it toward the net but can't get it over.
Metro State point.
18-23 now.
Sturgis serving.
Clark to Hogue. Jackson straight into Laraway.
Strong up front is Stephanie Laraway. Metro State point.
Sturgis. Clark to Hogue for Jackson. Murphy digs it out on the block. Jackson floats it over. Hebert is there. Meganhart tips it over. What a dump from Meganhart. Head on a swivel is the sophomore from Berthoud, Colorado. And that is going to lead to a Cal State San Bernardino timeout as the Roadrunners have closed the gap and trail 20-23 here in the third set at Brougham Pavilion. Santacia Sturgis will serve for the Roadrunners, who've scored 4 straight points now to pull back within 3 here in set number 3. Tight margins for both these teams. Service to Hogue, tipped over at the net. And Taylor Duryea wins a 5th straight point for our proverbial home team on this neutral ground game. 5th set Sturgis. And Sturgis overhits that one. Poor time for a service error. This now is match point. To'omalatai will serve. Standing serve into Hebert. Meganhart backside. Benda lifts it over to Hogue. To'omalatai wants Murphy. Into the wall goes Murphy. And Laraway says, no way, it's 22-24.
Into the lineup is Alyssa Kelly and their server, Lyric Hebert.
Lyric Hebert to serve now. This still match point. Serving in Cardoza to Hogue. Murphy tips it over, finds Duryea. Meganhart wants Duryea again, blocked by Dominique. To Hogue, to To'omalatai, back to Murphy. Murphy hits it, finds the line. And that does it. So Cal State San Bernardino wins in straight sets by scores of 25-18, 25-17, and 25-22 against Metro State. That last set came right down to the wire. Some really great volleyball played, but in the end, the Coyotes just too much to overcome for the Roadrunners. A reversal on the tradition of cartoon history. But it's a huge big win here to start off the Falcon Wildcat Invitational. Look back at some of the final stats on this one. Asia Clark and Haley Jackson tie for a match-high 11 points. Stephanie Laraway had 10.5 for the Roadrunners. Taylor Duryea, 9.5. From a kills perspective, Haley Jackson had 9, Asia Clark 8, Santacia Sturgis with 9, Taylor Duryea with 8, Sasha Dominique with 8, and Maura Murphy, who had a slow burn coming into this game, finishes off red hot, 7 kills for her. Hitting percentage, Sasha Dominique and Haley Jackson both hit 500. Jessa Meganhart hit 1,000 for that one dump over the net. On the assist fronts, Jan DeHoog with 28, Meganhart with 12, and Morgan Weatherwax had 9 for the Roadrunners. Service aces, there are a fair amount of them, but they were all spread out. Alexis Cardoza finishes with a match-high 3. That is going to do it for our broadcast here of the first day of the Falcon Wildcat Invitation. We do hope you will join us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time when Seattle Pacific University takes on Fresno Pacific, to be followed up later the afternoon by Fresno Pacific versus Cal State San Bernardino at 3 p.m. Pacific, and SPU versus Cal State San Bernardino tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube and SPUFalcons.com. I'm Andrew Harvey saying so long, thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.